I forgot to hit record, so we're gonna do this again. That's a lot of liquid. Alright, today we got a kind of interesting one. This is a video that I saw my recommended. It kind of feels like one of those videos that you kind of catch when it's in the midst of blowing up and in the midst of everything that's going on in this world. Something that we don't need is people that are plagues to society. And believe it or not, the Nelkboys are those people. That plague to society. I haven't watched Nelkboys since I was like in middle school because that's the only time their content is like cool. Maybe high school if you're super immature, but as you can tell, I don't really like them. I'm ranting a little bit. This video's 27 minutes. Let's get into it. But the hate that the Nelkboys are receiving, I think it's been well-deserved for way longer than just now.
The Nelkboys have always been tangled in controversy. Over the years, they've weathered storms relating to all sorts of issues, both internally and externally. And every time, the vast majority of people have simply written it off because they're just young frat boy types who have more money and fame than common sense.
See, like, I don't know anyone in the Nelkboys anymore. It wasn't really like the people that I would watch in the first place. Now I definitely have no idea. All I know is that they have a podcast and a beer or seltzer or something like that. That's the only two things that I know.
But while their usual antics are one thing, it's fair to say that interviewing a guy who is literally wanted for war crimes by the ICC is a little out of whack with what their fans expect from them. And even as they attempt to do some damage limitation, they don't seem to be able to grasp the magnitude of what they've done.
At first I was really upset because I'm somebody who hates Netanyahu and I know what he's doing and it's a genocide. I think he's worse than Al. I mean, at least, you know, the differences are a comparison.
Now, with fans unwilling to come back aboard or accept any kind of explanation they have to offer, Kyle, Steiny, and the crew are instead faced with watching it all slip away in real time.
Be the craziest chat of all time. What's up, Kyle? Kyle showed me out. Sellouts. You got everyone mad. I hate Iran. Sellout. W. L-Pod. BB's a war criminal. Damage control. Sellouts. Iranians. Jesus Christ.
It's your boy Luesta, and this is why the Nelkboys Downfall is getting worse. If you've even got a passing interest in the world of content and influencers, you're likely acquainted with the Nelkboys, a rambunctious group of young men who just wanted to make videos and create a life outside of the 9-to-5 system. Their rise, which began over a decade ago, was defined by juvenile but generally funny pranks that caught the world's attention.
Yes. Nicola? Yeah. Okay. Step out of the car. Yeah.
I can't do this. I can't do this. Man. We have a bunch of coke in the back. I'm sorry.
Doesn't he sound like just like a little girl? Like, is that just me? Does he sound just like a little girl? I don't know, you probably make fun of my voice too, but like, is it just me?
Since then, its founder Kyle Forgard and a revolving cast of characters have made a fortune off things like their hard seltzer brand Happy Dad, launched their Full Send podcast, and traveled the globe all under the umbrella of their brand. But it's fair to say, for all that people like Kyle, Steve, Jesse, Salim, and of course the very polarizing Steiny have made a killing, controversy has dogged them at every point. And now, it appears that the fact they've basically escaped unscathed lulled them into a false sense of security that everything would be fine no matter what they did. And now, they're learning the hard way that there are some things that people aren't willing to forgive or forget. Alongside the numerous times that they got the cops called on them for pranks, they've been demonetized on YouTube for a long time. Ever since hosting an Open Up Gyms protest.
Dude, they've been demonetized from YouTube for so long. I remember when I used to watch them years and years and years ago, they would like just constantly be pumping out just like the most basic merch ever because that's the only way they can make money.
Platform's creative responsibility policy and believed that they were creating a widespread public health risk. But this is far from the only incident.
So they were just straight up partying during COVID? Classy.
With the group threatening to explode from the inside out for a long time. First, you had people like Jesse, a longtime fan favorite who simply quit when it was no longer fun.
I kind of got everything I wanted. I have the few money to retire.
Was that the main reason why you left?
Yeah, I was like very depressed. And I think a lot of it was about my surroundings, always traveling, the content being heavily involved in partying and being in that atmosphere. There was just too many nights where I was at a club and I felt like I was clocking in. I think anyone in that position, eventually, it will not be your dream. I don't think it was ever my dream.
In the process, he sold part of it back to Kyle and formally exit the crew.
It was clear to me that Jesse was not happy being involved in Nelk. That's when me and him started talking about, you know, things and
Dude, I just gotta get this out. He has the most punchable face ever, dude. Like, does he not sit here and act like he doesn't? Or like, maybe it's just me? No, he definitely does. He has such a punchable face. I feel like the whole crew does.
him saying like, yo, I'm kind of down to like officially like, you know, exit.
Yeah.
So we pretty much agreed on a number and that was it.
And after seeing the news the past few days, you can bet he was happy with that decision. Since then, every other founding member has also departed, while people like Steve DeLeon Nardis, better known as Steve Will Do It, got banned from YouTube after numerous content strikes. As a result, one of their now most popular personalities is now marooned out on Rumble, with Nelk being told they basically couldn't platform him anymore or there'd be consequences.
What's the deal with Steve? Can we not film with him anymore?
Apparently not.
What the
But what they told us was basically if Steve, like if he appears in any video, yeah, he can't be like a prominent character, but they also said like, it's up to you. They basically said like, it's out of our control. Like the team that we talked to at YouTube, it's like, it's out of their control. And like, they basically said like, your channel's going to be deleted if Steve's in your videos.
Then, perhaps most controversially of all, there is Steiny, a polarizing personality who is hated by much of the audience, as well as the alumni Bob Meanery, who has gone on record saying he is single-handedly responsible for his success.
First of all, you vouching for me doesn't mean shit, okay?
Means
first,
something, no?
First and foremost. No, it doesn't. I love you, Steiny. You worked your ass off, and guess what? You're in that chair because of me.
He's doing it again, right? You had nothing to do with your success. It's all because of Bob. This is your delusion, believing that, yes, you gave Steiny an opportunity, but Steiny's in this chair right now because Steiny has showed up for every thing that Kyle has asked him to do.
Steiny is in this chair right now because he is the rat.
Along the way, he's wound up feuding with Steve Will Do It, the man who he was once the assistant.
Like a healthy little friendship that they all got going here. The Nelkboys. Definitely no hatred.
But abandoned when other more lucrative opportunities arrived.
I did everything for you.
I did everything for you too.
You did your fucking job.
No, but I didn't ask for anything, bro.
Oh yeah, that's his always excuse.
No, but it's always like I'm a bad guy.
I didn't ask for you to give me a
like,
bunch
yo,
of money and give you all this shit and give you opportunity.
I'm grateful and I never asked.
But that's
for
not how you
anything.
treat people, bro. Bro, I leveled you up so hard.
It's different, bro. I had an opportunity to continue to be an assistant, get treated like
And bro,
shit.
what do you mean assistant?
Or take a huge podcast. It was
Get on
hard,
the-
bro.
what
I
do you-
tried to do both. I wanted to do both.
I hate your guts
Yeah, no, I know.
because you're
We're working on that though.
you're a scumbag piece of shit.
Over the years, he has become a verbal punching bag for guests on Full Send, perhaps most notably being a victim of Andrew Schultz, who basically ripped him limb for limb.
What bothers you the most right now?
Nothing.
Nothing bothers you?
You looking at your phone while we're doing this interview, and everybody's seeming disinterested.
Were you looking at notes or texting girls?
Notes.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Me taking time out of my day to do this, and then feeling
Dude,
like
I've
I'm
never
forcing you guys to do the podcast.
I've never been more
That
excited to
annoyed
do
me.
a podcast.
Say again?
I've never been more excited. I'm sorry. I had to
Don't
look at my notes.
apologize. You don't have
No.
to apologize. You asked me what annoyed me, and I gave you an honest answer.
Wait, are you being serious about that?
Yeah.
What if someone in the audience is on their phone when you're doing that?
Then they're gonna get the same treatment you got.
Would you call them out?
Yes.
Have you done that before?
Yes.
And how's that reaction? They get as offensive as I do?
I don't think you're offensive. I think you're offended.
Imagine being like, do they get as butthurt as I do? Like, what? Whatever this is, I don't like this guy already. It just seems like he's got the craziest ego known to mankind, which is insane because you're not the two like founding fathers, you could call them. You know what I mean? Outside of that, like if you're just like, you're basically just their employee, how could you have that ego? Like you're one of them. You know, you're an employee. Seems like he's on the podcast, you know, that's your job, is to be a filler for the podcast. I do love though, like when comedians go on to podcasts that are more kind of scripted in a way, because comedians don't care. Like it's their job to say vulgar, or not necessarily vulgar, but like out of pocket type of stuff. Like it's their job to make those crazy jokes and stuff like that. So like when they go into podcasts, they're always the person that's like actually speaking what they want to say. They're not holding back. Like Shane Gillis is a perfect example.
Yeah.
And over time, it got even more brutal.
Are you guys friends with each other?
Yeah.
Like,
Why, you don't
genuinely?
get that vibe?
Yeah. No.
Why not?
Because the chemistry is weird.
Why do you say that?
I don't know. It's just I don't get it.
What's
Why you say that? Huh? Why do you say that now? Huh? Dude. You can tell he hit a nerve there. You can tell.
It's just an
so I can help
awkward
break it down for you.
podcast. It's like a weird thing. Like, do you guys do you have stories where you like bust balls? Like, are there?
Yeah, well, we usually have a different guy who sits in.
Yeah.
We wanted to have Steve on this one, so
Yeah,
he sat
with
in.
Brad.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love Brad too.
Yeah.
He's great. And what? Brad usually drives it or something like that.
What do you mean?
Like, is he usually driving the interview?
Why? You don't think we're doing a good job of that?
No, not really.
Answer the damn... Bro, this guy's pissing me off. Answer the damn question. Why? You don't think we're doing a good job? He struck a nerve so well. It's so good, dude.
But, I mean, it's not my favorite.
Considering how much they were dismantled by a stand-up comedian,
That
it's
smile,
probably fair to say
dude.
that these guys weren't even moderately qualified to deal with the spin provided by a world leader. But let's keep it on Steiny for a minute more. A man who was brought up wealthy, Steiny has been open about the hate he receives, and claims that even his own father disowned him at the outset of his career.
Because I do come from, like, middle class or whatever.
Upper middle class.
Like, upper middle class, sure. But, like, I moved out to LA because, like, he doesn't know what social media is. He doesn't know what, like, YouTube is. Because he didn't grow up in that era or whatever. So he thinks I'm coming out here and, like, he didn't support it.
Like you're fucking your life off.
Yeah, he didn't support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so people just want to fucking bash you for anything they can, but I'm like, dude, I had no support.
Why this is notable is that Steiny is the son of Harvey Steinberg, which, if you don't know, is a lawyer who defended Asher Carney, an Israeli convicted nuclear weapons smuggler back in 2004. And once they reconciled, his father later shot him some bail over platforming some dubious characters.
What do you make of his association with people that are kind of ushering in this era of fascism currently in this country?
I'm not convinced that they're ushering fascism in. I think that Aaron has a good head on his shoulders, and I think that he's trying to do what's right for the country, and he feels
This is a
that.
classic
And I think
lawyer
that
ass
his heart is in the right
full of
place.
shit.
You're unreal.
He has access to somebody who's a decision maker, and if you have that access and you want to try to do the right thing in your mind and have influence upon that decision maker, what better person would you want than Aaron?
It's true.
And it was this very logic that seemed to have governed what was to come.
As much as like someone might deserve it, that's still kind of messed up. Just being like, when it's obviously like a sensitive subject, and then just bringing his father, calling him while you have a podcast with him, or I'm guessing it's a podcast. That's still kind of messed up. Like, damn.
It's fair to say that the Nelkboys have crossed into uncharted waters in recent years. For one thing, their content began to skew towards right-wing causes and characters, with guests including Andrew Tate and Trump, among others. They even platformed Tory Lanez from jail.
You have a person that has literally 0 handprints on this gun.
Mr. Peterson never shot anybody.
You don't even have the bullets to match to this gun to say that these bullets were even shot out of the gun that you guys supposedly recovered. When we went into court and we put these things in and said, hey, we're factually innocent due to these facts, the court said, you know what? We're going to consider that because there's good reason appearing on what you're saying.
There's like a backlash from who? From people
Just from people
that are against Andrew Tate.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
How did that manifest? Like, what was the backlash?
I just did a video and then people were like, how the fuck are you associating with a guy like that? You know, he has all
It was
these
just
claims coming
comments,
out.
or it was like
Comments, DMs.
Did it have
fucking
like a
personal people that I know?
Your mom got mad at you?
No, she didn't.
Your
She
mom-
got mad at me for Trump.
She got mad at you for Trump.
She didn't talk to me for like
6 months.
maybe 8 months.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Trouble.
I know.
Besides that, they had already withered away a lot of the goodwill that they received from the public with their Metacard NFT project.
You guys have the Metacard too, right?
Yeah.
So what's the
Metacard.
plan with that?
A lot of it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's just so new in
Yeah.
the space too.
You guys
Like,
got in early
it's
too at a
just
good
Web
time.
3, right?
Yeah.
So like I think we're gonna be one of the biggest brands in Web 3 in the Web 3 space.
Priced at about $3,000 each at mint, their fans were given all manner of incentives as they pledged everything to gyms that'd be free to enter for users, festivals, equity in new ventures, and much more. In the process, they made something in the ballpark of $23 million. But not only have those NFTs since dropped in price, but all the incentives they promised have never materialized either. And now, those who had them are contemplating class action lawsuits, while everyone else simply believes them to be grifters who took from their fans and lost who they were in the process to make a quick buck. Nelk always said they were above scamming their fans, and then they started participating in fake giveaways, roulette, stake, and their BS meta card. And as scamming watchdog Spencer Cornelia discovered in a lengthy video, to say that people who invested in what they peddled are disgruntled would be a major understatement.
Chat for the Metacard community. At Kyle Forjard, you're saying you always say, stop making empty promises. You haven't done shit for this project. Continue to ignore the hard questions. You've already lied to us multiple times, and we're the ones who are really supportive of this project, but you're driving us away. That message was written 18 months ago, and there's been no progress on anything. How do you think that person feels today? Kyle actually responded saying that he agrees with results being needed ASAP and that things are taking a while. These words were all empty because Kyle's last message in this Discord was August 2022. They raised $23 million, and Kyle hasn't spent a minute in the Discord in 18 months. Here's 2 messages of Kyle indicating that he'll jump in the Discord frequently and recognizes the growing frustration. What kicked this off was his initial message. He wrote, making sure our ventures are as profitable as possible so when we cut y'all in, it's worth it. That, my friends, is a promise to deliver equity in the Full Send ventures. Kyle mentioned that they were looking at the first Full Send sports bar will open in Miami with Dave Grutman. That message was sent March 28, 2022. We're coming up on 2 years, and my guess is they have had zero progress made on any of this.
With their reputation already undertaking heavy fire, Nelk has proven that if there's a way to advance their brand or a bag to be obtained
that rich and like you want to open up a sports bar or something like that, why don't you just hire someone? You know what I mean? Like if you're that wealthy, why don't you hire someone to get the job done quicker?
Then there is no reason why they won't do it, no matter what it means for public perception of them once the dust settles. But this time, it seems like it's finally caught up with them. Like everyone else on the planet these days, the Nelkboys tried to harness their fame to launch their Full Send podcast. Among the flagship outlets for them today, it's welcomed many guests, but done little for anyone when it comes to attesting to their intelligence or knowledge on any subject that isn't money or partying. As a result, they've become renowned for their uniformed approach to conducting interviews, with the crew recently coming under fire from the MMA media for getting UFC credentials in order to disseminate the message that their friend and noted supporter Dana White wants to get out there.
Then you have the Nelkboys, they can't name 5 UFC fighters. And this is where they're breaking news and breaking down fights. I have nothing against the Nelkboys. My issue is you can do the Nelkboys, but you can also do actual journalists that are gonna hold your feet to the fire. Questions we wanna hear, not...
Dude, he doesn't wanna go to someone that actually is gonna challenge him, you know what I mean? And actually ask him questions. Also, he just probably wants to go there because he looks the smartest. And from the clips I've seen, it's not too hard to look smart on their podcast.
Is Conor McGregor, dude, if he comes back, dude, Conor Topuria, are we gonna see that? You're like, well, slam my in a door. I'm talking actual fucking journalism. There has to be both. And when you're going on these cupcake shows, they're going, dude, bro, is Ronda coming back? This is what the hard-hitting questions. We can have both. Do this. And then go on Ariel. Do this. And then talk to Luke Thomas. But when you're just playing in Candy Lane ass, it does the sport such a disservice. And to be completely honest, nobody takes it serious. Nobody, man.
Because where other media figures do research or prep, they basically do the whole thing on a whim. So when it was speculated that they were going to be interviewing one of the most controversial and widely reviled men on the planet in Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, people didn't exactly have high hopes. This included Kyle himself, who seemed to know that there was a problem ahead before it even dropped.
You did? Yeah. With Dana, right?
You could tell these guys never wear suits, bro. The one guy didn't even have a tie. Like, there's no...
We did a pod with Dana, but
nice.
There's another one dropping Monday.
Oh, nice. You don't know who? We don't know who it is yet.
It got leaked. It's a controversial one.
I don't know who is it. They know who it is. The chat does.
They probably know. It's a big one.
Really?
But I just want to let the interview kind of speak for itself
before you say stuff on it.
People will jump to conclusions.
Got it.
But it's a pretty big one.
Really? Oh shit.
And when it did arrive, people were horrified by the concept alone. I love how everyone in the thumbnail looks like they've been caught doing something they shouldn't. They aren't the sharpest, let's be honest. Surprised these dudes can dress themselves. But it's fair to say that the horror really began once they sat down with the man who stands accused of perpetrating a literal genocide in Palestine. As they met the political figure who is wanted by the International Criminal Court for various war crimes and crimes against humanity, including extermination, murder, and using starvation as a weapon in Gaza, Kyle and Steiny admitted that they had no idea what was going on.
I feel like on the internet now too, it's like you don't even know what's real anymore. Like you read shit and it's like you see a headline and it's like, is this true? Is this not true? So I see so much stuff about, you know, what's going on in Israel and, you know, Iran and Palestine. And to be honest, I just really don't know what is going on there. So it's gonna be interesting to sit down with Prime Minister Netanyahu and kind of just ask him some questions about what we read online and
get educated.
On a side note, how much do you think they paid him?
Benjamin could basically say whatever he wanted unchallenged, no matter how little truth there was to it.
Why do they say Israel's like starving the people of Gaza?
Well, because we're trying to get the food in, and we let food trucks in, and guess what happens when we let them in? Hamas steals the food, takes the good chunk for itself, then they jack up the prices, and then they sell the food to its population, to its hungry population, if they give them at all, and then use the money that they take from their own people to recruit more killers into their terror machine.
Days after Gazans were plunged into stage 5 malnutrition, a move which means that even if they get the food they need, it might be a little too late. And as it turned out, the interview was about as tightly policed as possible, as it appears the Israeli Secret Service was there, but the Nelkboys were too naive to even realize it.
And in the beginning, I'm like, Nelk, they probably took money from Netanyahu. They probably took money from the Trump team. I don't think they did. They told me that they had 20 people in the room while they were doing the podcast. I'm like, Steiny, that was Mossad. He's like, no, they were just HR people. I'm like, no, that was the CIA and the Mossad watching you interview. And if you don't think that Mossad was there in the room with Netanyahu, then you are mistaken.
Still, they led with softball questions, including giving him space to rally against a newly appointed New York mayor.
Even in New York City, right? What's Zoran?
Yeah.
He's an anti-Semitic guy. Yeah. The highest, I think the highest population of Jews in New York City. How's that even possible?
Well, it's possible because a lot of people have been taken in by this nonsense. I mean, what? You want to defund the police? You want to have people go into stores and, rob them and be free? You think that really creates a good society? You want to crush all enterprise? You want to tax people to death? I mean, that's a one-term effort, but, sometimes you have to get mugged by reality to understand how stupid that is. So that's silly, but sometimes folly overtakes human affairs for a while, but not for long, because reality steps in. So I'm obviously not happy with it, but I'm less concerned with it, because I think if we can speak the truth to the young people of America, they wise up pretty quickly.
And in the aftermath, they came under fire for their presumptions over his prejudices.
No, Steiny, Zoran Mamdani is not anti-Semitic, dumbass. Like, he's just the only politician in this country who doesn't dick suck Netanyahu like you guys are doing right now. Zoran Mamdani was the only one who said, hey, actually, I'm going to stay in America. I'm going to put New York City first. I don't need to go kiss the wall like Steiny. I'm going to stay in New York and take care of the citizens here. And now you're saying he's anti-Semitic? What did he say that was anti-Semitic?
As the podcast went out to the masses, the Nelkboys must have known it was a gamble, but it's probably likely that their own naivety over the whole situation meant that they probably weren't prepared for the massive backlash that has come their way.
I just got done watching the entire podcast interview of the Nelkboys and Benjamin Netanyahu. If you were curious about watching it, I'm telling you, you're not missing anything you haven't heard already. It was literally an hour and a half of Benjamin Netanyahu just spewing the same lies and propaganda. I mean, it was hardly an interview. It was basically Bibi talking 95% of the time. The few questions that the Nelkboys did ask him were very surface level and softballs. Absolutely no hardball questions. I think the most hardball question they asked him was, why do you think you're so hated worldwide?
Unsubscribe. This was probably pitched to Netanyahu like, don't worry, these guys are idiots. You can use their platform to push whatever propaganda you like, and they 100%. Won't push back on anything. Left facing historic dislikes and loss of followers, the pair remained so clueless to the point that Hassan Piker had to show the fundamental flaws in their logic.
Okay, so my point is, would you be neutral with Bin Laden in the same way that you're like a neutral podcast?
I think we would do our best to ask him tough questions.
Okay.
I think there's a sense of understanding too, right? Well, Hassan, I think there's
What about a
I think we'd always kind of play the neutral role, to be honest, and just
you would play a neutral role interviewing I don't think that's the case. I think you're just saying that right now because you want to.
We're just not the best at grilling guests and pushing back on them, to be honest. Like I said, we're not claiming to be good journalists. Like we can ask a question, but when it comes to like a follow-up question, I'll be honest, we're not the most, like, I've never claimed to be super educated on this.
And while they spoke of tough questions to other condemned figures,
I don't think you're educated in who you bring on at all. Like, you kind of just go there and do the podcast. Like, I don't think you realize 99% of podcasts out there that have guests on, they research everything about that guest. And if they know who that person is, it's a lot easier. Even if they're not even the person that is finding all this information, putting it in some notes, they're still reading the notes and being like, okay, this is stuff to ask them. This is, that's what a podcast is. You don't just sit there and stare at each other, You're supposed to have notes that you researched.
They were non-existent this time, considering they were literally asking him about fast food orders rather than anything to do with what was happening.
What's your go-to at McDonald's?
No, I'll tell you, Burger King. We did the double,
Whopper?
The double.
I haven't ripped Burger King in a long time.
Burger King kind of sucks.
Yeah.
No, you're wrong.
The BK Lounge can hit.
I disagree completely.
You like Burger King over McDonald's?
That's your worst take, I think.
Absolutely.
That's a crazy take.
No, that was fine. I mean, I like Burger King. The answer is yes.
That's your worst take. Out of everything you've said, that right there is where you cross the line, buddy. Like, I think what people are mainly getting at is the fact that you say absolutely nothing. You want to have the most controversial people on your podcast? Come with some actual information. You're such window lickers that you can't even think of like actual questions to ask them. That's what people are fucking mad about, is that you guys are so brain dead. Has a 50-50 side to it, or maybe not even a 50-50 side to it. Maybe it's all nothing but hate towards whatever that person did. You're supposed to explore that, you know what I mean? Not just sit there and ask them what they order at McDonald's.
Controversial people on, we ask them questions. Obviously, we're not the best journalists. No. We're not claiming to be Piers Morgan or Brett Baer, but we're gonna ask them questions. They're gonna give answers. And guys, this is the point of the podcast. We leave it up to you guys as the viewer to form your own intelligent opinion.
What intelligent opinion when you're asking about their McDonald's order? What are we supposed to sit here and have intelligent conversations about?
The best is how people think we had some ulterior motive, or like, oh yeah, I mean, said that clear. No.
Did we get paid to do this?
No.
Jesus.
There's other people out there that do that shit.
No, you paid them.
We've never done
I better have at least 100 Tel Aviv birds in my DMs or something.
And for anyone who vaguely supported them before, it's clear they can't believe how naive they had been, and the backlash is seeping to their other posts, where they're rapidly trying to manage the replies. Been so out of touch in interviewing someone for clicks, and views tell you a lot about Kyle. Bro got a smile on his face, just cheerful he got to interview the person who bombed the children, deleting comments so fast. Generational sellout. Their core
actually
fans seem to
deleting
hate that
comments.
this happened too. The more that they try to normalize it, the more horror they generate. As for Netanyahu himself, the interview probably didn't pan out how his PR team hoped for him either, with Kyle conceding that there were some stark comparisons to be made between him and another world leader while scrambling to save his business.
It's a good point. Someone said having Netanyahu on is like having modern day Hitler.
No, I saw that.
Which is, honestly guys, I'll be honest, I'm here to, that's a good point. We're here to learn, to be honest, guys.
In the wake of this decision, the Nelkboys have
You're
a
supposed to
mountain
learn
climb
before.
if they are ever going to fix this. And they even seem to be coming to terms with the fact that they're cooked, at least when it comes to mainstream acceptance or general public goodwill. Even people who make content similar to theirs can't believe how much they mishandled it.
I saw videos of like starving children and children being hurt. If there's innocent women and innocent children being harmed, chat, I don't give a what you guys believe in. If you think that's right in any type of way, you're part of the problem. And I think that that's genuinely an issue in the world.
Every single time I see an Aiden Ross clip, I'm just immediately like, what are we on about?
We could fucking fix it, bro. And I wish it was as easy as pressing a button, bro. It's wrong. It is wrong. It's wrong, chat. It's wrong. No innocents deserve to get bombed. It's just the truth, chat.
Now faced with a world that's more hostile to them than ever before, the duo are actively dodging the hard questions.
Tiny, what's your thoughts on Palestine? Come on, bro. Say it. Come on. Talk about it. He's scared. He's scared. Happy dad.
While in the next moment, they claim that they would at
Actually
least
ran
try
away.
to provide some balance in the future.
But
now we're gonna
guys,
give the other side an opportunity.
we're gonna give the other side the opportunity, and I feel like, you know, we're just that's just the way we roll, bro. And I think that someone has to do it. If we have to take the fall and be the bad guys for having the controversial people on, I think we're willing to do it.
But it's fair to say that might be a little hard to do when the other side is facing starvation, genocide, and death. In spite of it all, Kyle has been very careful with his words when discussing the issue, because while he may allude to regrets, he's been on the internet long enough to know that once you say sorry, there's no way back.
I wish we could go back in time and grill him 1,000 times harder. And we just went in there unequipped to interview him.
You did not grill him at all. There was no grilling.
But there's nothing you can do, guys. I know it's in my heart. I mean, we have a lot of Muslim friends. We've been to Dagestan. We all know what's in our hearts. We don't hate anybody. We're not taking sides in this shit. We love everybody. I'm sleeping great because I know how I actually feel on the inside. So, and I know a lot of you guys are and this is not an apology. This is just, we walked in there and we weren't ready for it, man. And we walked in there uneducated, and I can admit that.
But if he stepped away from his character for a second and considered his humanity, he and Steiny would know that the most appropriate thing to do would be to take accountability for their mistake. But if you're waiting for that to justify being a fan of theirs again, I think you might be waiting a long, long time. Due to their behavior, it's no surprise that people took great pleasure in watching both Steiny and Kyle being sat on their ass by UFC champion Ilia Topuria in a new stream.
That was light. Come on, you're good. I'm like scared to hit him because I know he's gonna hit him hard.
But this won't be enough, especially when they even use their
He might have actually slept him right there for half a second. Seems like he came back conscious right away, but that fall, that's a unconscious fall right there.
I personally, I like the questions you asked to him.
It was tough, but with a guy like that, I just wasn't really educated on the subject, you know?
Me neither. That's
I'm
why.
not, and I think there's a lot of people like that. Like if me and you were both like that, I think that, because some people have a side like, I'm on this side. Some people have a side, I'm on this.
A UFC fighter and a guy that parties for a living? Yeah, dude, those are two very intelligent people. If they don't know about this, the whole world doesn't.
Like, I think the thing is, we know many things from the social media, but we don't know the explanation behind that, like why they are doing this. Maybe there is a reason.
While cancel culture is exactly the kind of thing their supporters usually rally against,
maybe there's
it's
a reason
clear that they have
for
an uphill
killing
battle
kids
to fix the mess that they've made. And in some people's eyes, their true colors have emerged in a way that they won't be able to undo or amend.
Banger video. Look this guy up. Lou Extras. Hopefully I said your name right. I personally, like I said, I have no idea what the Nelkboys do, so I didn't even know this was going on, that this much hate was happening, but I'm glad it is. It's about time, and hopefully it doesn't recycle like everything does on the internet. That's all I got here. Peace.